I'm Michelle. 3 months have passed since that fateful day, and my flower business is thriving. The stall that was once the center of my world has been repossessed, my parents have moved out, and my sister-in-law's influencer career has crumbled. But it wasn't just about their downfall. It was about my growth, about finally breaking free from the chains of a toxic family. Let me take you back to that cold, early morning in the San Francisco Flower Mart. It was 4:30, and I was in the freezing warehouse when my sister-in-law, Lily, a 28-year-old with a sense of entitlement that knew no bounds, started swinging a hammer at a vase of rare Ecuadorian orchids. Her husband, my brother Ryan, a 30-year-old who always thought he was the smartest in the room, stood beside her, filming with his phone, waiting for me to cave. Lily shrieked, "You think you're better than us just because you sell flowers? Give me the $25,000 for my plastic surgery, Michelle, or I'll destroy everything you have." She aimed the hammer at a bucket of white hydrangeas. I looked at the $8,000 worth of destroyed inventory at my feet. My hands were steady, and my pulse was calm. I reached into my back pocket and felt the cold edge of my wholesale badge, the key to my success. I pulled out my phone. Lily stopped screaming for a moment and sneered. "Who are you calling? Mom? She'll tell you to stop being selfish and give me the money." Ryan laughed and panned the camera towards me. I ignored them and tapped 911. "Emergency. Police, fire, or medical?" A voice asked. "Police?" I replied, my voice flat and determined. "I'd like to report a felony vandalism in progress at the San Francisco Flower Mart, stall 42. The perpetrator is armed with a hammer and has destroyed inventory worth about $8,000. Lily froze. "You're calling the cops? You're insane." "She's family," Ryan shouted. "She's an intruder," I told the dispatcher, making sure Ryan heard. "I'm the owner of the business, and I want to press charges immediately." When the police arrived, Lily tried to play the victim, but they saw the shattered glass and the hammer on the floor. I watched as they handcuffed her, and it was the most satisfying moment. I felt a sense of lightness, like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. Later that morning, I sat in my private studio, looking at the wholesale badge around my neck. It took me 5 long years to earn this. I woke up at 3 a.m. every day, worked in freezing refrigerators, and endured the mockery of growers. I built this business from the ground up, stem by stem, bucket by bucket. But my family never saw my hard work. They only saw the access the badge provided. For years, I had been the family's ATM. I paid off Ryan's $15,000 debt when his stock investment went south because my mother, Sarah, a 55-year-old who always played the victim, cried and said it would ruin his credit. I secretly paid the mortgage on my parents' house for 5 years because my father, David, a 58-year-old who always thought he knew best, was too proud to admit he was broke. That evening, they pounded on my apartment door. Sarah led the charge, her face red with anger. David followed, looking stern and authoritative. Ryan and Lily were right behind them. "You monster! You had her arrested," Sarah screamed as she pushed past me into my living room. I calmly explained that Lily had committed a felony. But Sarah shrieked, "Family gets upset. You don't call the police on family. You've ruined our name." Ryan sneered and showed me the receipt of Lily's bail, which he had paid using the emergency credit card I gave my parents for medical emergencies only. David then played the patriarch. He said, "This has gone too far. You're out of control. You've let this flower business go to your head. We're going to transfer the stall lease to Ryan. He's the man of the family and needs a steady income." They demanded that I sign the lease transfer agreement. I looked at the paper, at Ryan, who couldn't even take care of a simple plant, and at my parents, who thought they had the right to take my business. I picked up the pen and signed. Then I gave Ryan the key to the stall. As I walked out with my tool bag, I felt a strange amusement. They thought they had won, but they didn't understand that the real asset was the non-transferable wholesale badge, which was safely in my tool bag. That night, I drove to a small warehouse I had rented. I logged into the wholesaler system, placed orders, and redirected deliveries. While Ryan had the key to the stall, I had access to the entire market. The next morning, security flagged an unauthorized access attempt at the stall. Ryan and Lily couldn't buy inventory without the badge. Hours later, they found me and demanded the badge. I refused and told them the truth. Then I handed David an eviction notice. The house they lived in was mine. I had saved it from foreclosure years ago and let them stay rent-free. I closed the warehouse door and went back to work. I finally realized that sometimes the only way to save yourself is to walk away from the salted earth. And that's how I found my growth and justice.